I'm on a track team. I turned 50 this year, and I'm 50. And I love telling people my age because all the people that run are 40, 50s, and 60. And when some people are out there, because we are home with Flossmoor on the track, and some people, yeah, you say he 50? I know, I get that all the time.
What year you born?
It's 1961, March 19th. I've been married 25 years. You came in a little later. But I've been married. This is 26 years this year. And I know it is. But it's not because it's me. It's excellent because of what I do. See, in between everything that we do, and I know Darwin runs a lot. I know he used to run a lot. And when you do stuff and you try to share it with people because you want them to do it, because it's healthy to be this way. And I'm shooting for health. You know what I mean? I'm shooting to eat right. Like today I couldn't eat yet because my food is at home because I eat a certain thing in the morning and I didn't want to eat donuts today. So I didn't want to run by Dunkin' Donuts and come here. So I just said I'll eat when I finish. And those are sacrifices that I make now at 50, where 20 years ago I wouldn't have did that. But when I try to tell other people, they say, you look good. Oh, you have a great marriage. Oh, you're financially stable. What do you do? And when you explain it, people get nervous. Because they want to hear what you do, but they don't want to do what you do. I say, no, I'm running 3 miles when I leave here. Telling you the rest of I'm running 3 miles, then I got to get back on the phone, make my phone calls. I got some meetings. I got some more engagements that I got to plan. I got to get ready for those kindergartens in the morning. So I'm like, okay, what am I going to do for the kindergartners? Because by the end of the day tomorrow, I'll be at 2 different schools, about 1,000 kids. You know, that's just tomorrow. Then I got to look at my next weekend. My wife is already saying she want to ride 30 miles on our bikes on Saturday morning. Then she's in triathlons, and then she wants me to run triathlons, and I'll say, okay, I'm on a track team, I'm running triathlons now because she wants me to run with her. But I'm like, it's healthy. But when you do these things and you talk to other people about what it is to be financially sound, do they want to do it? But they say, how do I get there? What does it take? Why am I so out of touch with society? Why are my finances not right, right? So you have to keep being an example and keep being an example and keep being an example. But then while you're being an example for this person, you keep working on this person over here. I got people I'm trying to recruit for the track team. One lady said, oh, because we got walkers and runners. She said, I don't walk anywhere. She said, if I got to walk, if I ain't got to walk, I go sit down. That's a shame. You bragging on you don't like to walk? And I don't even have to tell you how heavy she was. No, man, it's disgusting. That's what it is. Now let's finish up here. You have to invest in yourself. Okay? Everybody thinks there is a secret for success. And the secret is simple. It ain't even a secret. Preparation plus hard work. That's the secret. Preparation plus hard work. If you keep at it, you keep doing it, you keep moving, you keep meeting, you keep listening, you keep learning, you keep being coached. I got a 1.9. They say you got to write it yourself. Then my brother came to me. He said, man, call this guy named Dempsey Travis. He said, this guy has written 100 books. I was 32 years old. Was already a salesman a year for a couple of companies. Now I want to write a story about it. Because my best friend in this book was murdered the same year I was salesman of the year for that Fortune 500 company. And he said he wanted to write this book when we were kids. And so in order to honor him, I said, I'm going to go ahead and write the book. But I'm not a writer. So I kept trying to circumvent the formula of success. Have somebody else do it. Not listen to what people are saying, what it takes to write a book. So finally I called Dempsey Travis. And I'm thinking he's not going to pick up the phone. You know, this is Dempsey Travis, multi-millionaire, a real estate guy, south side Chicago, well known in Chicago. I call his secretary, picks up the phone. I say, this is Edge Bassette. I'd like to speak to Dempsey Travis. She said, can you hold on a moment? I said, sure. I'm like, she gonna come back and say, he ain't available, right? He comes on the phone. Hello, this is Dempsey Travis. He said, and who is this? I said, He said, son, stop it. Will you say something? I wasn't ready, was I? No, I wasn't ready. Because success scares you when oh, God. Some of you don't want that commission check. Because to do what you got to do to get the commission check scares us. And when the top 10% in this office tell everybody else what to do, the first thing some people say in the back of their mind, I ain't doing all that. If I got to walk, right? Now, Dempsey's on the phone. He's written about 20 books. What do you want? I don't know. Son, why'd you call me? Well, my brother said that you could help me write a book. I can't help you write a book. He said, how old are you? 32. He said, you too young to write a book. He said, let me tell you something. I wrote my first book when I was 45. I wrote my second book when I was 47. Wrote my third book when I was 50. He said, you're not serious. He said, I got to go, son. And he said, I got to go. He said, let me tell you something. If you were serious about writing a book, you would pick up a pen and the words would flow from the pen as though it was music from your mouth. He said, I got to go. And he hung up. And you know what I did? I sat in that phone booth and started crying. I can't stand him. I called my wife. This man was on the phone. He told me I couldn't do it. Why was I thinking I could write a book? She said, look, calm yourself down. What is your problem? We get like that sometimes. Oh, the market's tough. The economy is going to hell. Don't we do that? We look at the news and don't want to go to work. Start pulling the blinds down, pulling the Zoloft off. That's depression pills for people that don't know. I took them before. That's what I do when I get real depressed. I used to sit in the bed and sit in the sales not right. Watch Oprah. As I end, I want you to know that it's possible. It's not an age thing. It's not a number thing. It's a confidence. It's what you want to do. You hear every day. I would tell people between 9 and 5, I have nothing else to do but work. I set my life up that way. Just to do what I got to do. That's what Practice What You Preach is about. This book is about what if you just did the things you said you wanted to do in your life. How dynamic would you be if you just did what you said you wanted to do, not what somebody else said, right? If we just do what we do, I'm pushing myself just to do what I said I was going to do. And sometimes it scares the bejesus out of me, just to do it. So as I leave, I want you to know that preparation plus hard work equals success, and successes are habits, and habits are learned. They're not born, they're learned. Success is a habit, and a habit is learned. It takes about 30 days to learn a habit. How many days? 30. Did I say 5? Can you do something new today? Can you go around today saying, I'm outstanding all day, then tomorrow you back to what you were doing? No, it takes about 30 days. As I leave, I want you to know that these books are for sale. I didn't just bring up here to show. Okay, that's the first thing. They're $20 a piece. It took me 3 years to write this, 4 years to write this. I didn't want to keep them in my garage. That's not the idea. People invest in themselves. And they're good books, right?
Yeah.
You've read this one. Did you read this one?
Both. Yeah.
Got both of them.
Got them both from you.
Invest. I support people because I understand that one of the keys to success that I've learned is that I give of myself now more than I ever realized I had in me. Meaning that when I see somebody that's doing something, I go, you know what? I'm going to support them because then it's going to come back to me. And I've given my last, and I've always eaten. George Frazier, he's a networker, master networker. I don't know if you've ever heard of George Frazier, but he's out of Cleveland. He's one of the top networkers in the country, African American. One day I was at an expo years ago, and I said, Mr. Frazier, I said, I'm trying to get connected to media and just get out there. He said, call my office. Now, he's from Cleveland. He said, call my office, and we'll send you the copy of everything. Now, he didn't take my card. He didn't do anything. So I walked away. Millions of people at the expo, right? Then I came back and said, Mr. Frazier, maybe you don't understand. I need media lists. He said, son, I got over 400 media people that I'm trying to get to you. Just call my office. He said, ask for my assistant, and then she'll send it to you the best way that you want it sent. Then I walked away. I came back again. I said, why would you do this for me and you've never met me before? He said, son, sometimes you got to give and sometimes you got to give until it hurts. He said, don't worry about it because one day it'll come back to me. I walked away. About 6 months later, I was reading in the paper and I told my wife about it because I did call his office and she faxed me all of this information of all the media contacts that he had been collecting for years and years. I told my wife I was overwhelmed. I said, man, people don't do that for you. They don't give you information willingly. So I went and I went to the expo, and I later, about 6 months later, I saw in the newspaper that he was coming to town. And I went to the event, and it was at the DuSable Museum. And he was there, and it was a packed house. And he had his new book that he had just made Success Runs in Our Race. And I was there, and I was in the audience. And Chicago's a very cliquish town, and we were sitting there. And after he talked, people were kind of hesitant to go up to buy his book. So I stood up, and I said, I'm from Chicago. I went to Lindblom High School. This is my wife, blah, blah, blah. I said, let me tell you what this man did for me. And I said, he did this for me, he did this for me, he did this for me. And I said, I'm going to be the first person in line to buy his book. Man, those people knocked me out the way to beat me to get his book. And when I got up there, he said, thank you. I said, you give it till it hurts. Then I wrote about him in this book. So he's in my book because he helped me. I'm in other people's books because I helped them. As I leave, I want you to know that you are part of history and you make your history. A lady was in the library. She said, I'm looking for the autobiography of Malcolm X. She said, next to his book was your book. She said, I saw your face. And she said, man, that's EJ. And she said, you know, I was thinking while I was sitting there and I saw your book, and I said, he's in history. I said, I know, I planned it that way. See, great people put themselves in positions to do great things. Great people want to be outstanding when they know the secret to outstanding. Great people want to be in the top 10%. So in this office, I want you to be outstanding, to do your best, to be the best that you can be. Can you be that?
Yes.
Thank you, and God bless you.